greet you in Jesus' precious name. It's just wonderful to be with you again. I want to speak to you about grace. Do you know what grace is? Grace is undeserved loving kindness. Grace is unmerited favor. Jesus didn't have to die for you and me on the cross of Calvary. But because he extended grace, you and I can live forever if we will just accept it. I want to say to you, you and I also need to extend much grace in these last days. Have you noticed how impatient people are? Okay, often a guy go past me, hooting or whatever, I'll just say, most of the time, bless you, brother. It's better than shaking your fist at him and saying, I hope you die or something. We need to extend grace. Try to always put yourself in the other person's shoes, and then you won't be so quick to criticize. If we look at 2 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 1, this is what Paul says to the Corinthians. We then, as workers together with him, also plead with you not to receive the grace of God in vain. For he says, in an acceptable time I have heard you, and in the day of salvation I have helped you. Behold, now is the accepted time. Behold, now is the day of salvation. You and I need to extend grace now, not tomorrow, not next week. We need to live in a state of grace. What does that mean, Angus? It means that we don't just extend grace when we go to church on Sunday morning. We don't just extend grace when we go to a home group or Bible study. We extend grace in the workplace, in the marketplace, on the sports field, in the university, in school, at home, on the farm. We extend grace. You know, when I was a young man, I used to spend a lot of time in the gym. I was fit and I was strong. And I had no patience with people that were dragging their heels. But you see, I was a young man and I was foolish and I didn't know Jesus. Some of these men that I was asking to throw fertilizer bags up onto the trailer like I could were men who were sick. They were physically sick. Some of them were worn out. Some of them were old enough to be my father. I didn't extend grace. We need to extend grace. And you know something? Sometimes the only way we can do that is when we've been there ourselves. Okay? I've got a very dear friend of mine who's just had a massive back operation. And I want to tell you something. I was praying with him this morning. He said he really appreciates life now. He's been lying on his back. They've had to fuse a whole lot of his vertebrae. And he says, like never before, he is understanding what it's like to be able to get up in the morning and to walk. Just walk. And this guy is a champion sportsman. We need to extend that grace. See other people, okay, in a different light. Okay, put yourself in their shoes. You see a mother with 4 or 5 children, and maybe she's getting a bit short-tempered with them. Don't condemn that lady. Think about it. She's got to look after all these children. Get them up. Get them ready for school. Go and help her. Don't criticize her. Even as God has extended grace to you and me, we likewise need to live in a state of perpetual grace. So when you go to work today, when you go out into the field, whatever, make sure that you give people lots of space. Okay? Try and understand why they're short-tempered. Try and understand why they are losing their temper, maybe being ugly. Maybe because they're in a state of pain, maybe they're in a state of fear. But you have been given grace by Jesus. And so the grace that God has given to us, let us share it with others. And I tell you what, this world is going to be a much nicer place to live in. May the grace of Jesus be with you today. Goodbye.
We trust that you have been blessed by today's message. For more information, please visit angusbuchan.com.